Bless you. Welcome, everyone. This evening, we will begin with a Dharma glimpse read by Helen. A Dharma glimpse is a short piece of writing that describes some kind of moment of inspiration. So I will hand over to you. Thank you very much. It's
always interesting reading these back when they were little, a little while ago, and the situation's moved on. But I think it's still interesting. So, permission slip. There's been a few times in my life when I've heard the voice of God tell me something very strongly. It's generally been when I've doggedly been pursuing a path that deep down I've known wasn't right for me, but for one reason or another, I've been ignoring all signs to the contrary and determinedly digging my heels in and carrying on blindly, certain that either there is no other choice, or in some cases, a breakthrough will come and the path I'm on will become the right path if only I work hard enough to make it the right path. Recently, I've been experiencing some pretty minor but still upsetting health problems. I've various tools in my toolbox that I've built up over the years to cope when things get tough like this, and one of them is physical exercise. A little run, a little weight training, and then home to my biscuit tea. Bliss. The problem is that I've noted my lack of motivation to actually engage and go to the gym recently, even though I know I'll feel better if I do, preferring instead to sit on the couch, sneak chocolate past my teen, watch the latest Netflix drop of Selling Sunset deep into the night and feel sorry for myself. Don't get me wrong, I know this isn't unusual, but deep down, I've also known this isn't the bog standard procrastination, although that is another hobby of mine. Something's getting in my way, something that I've not wanted to admit to myself and I feel slightly embarrassed about. So the other day, facing a mirror, scanning myself as I sometimes do with my reflection staring back at me, I asked, why? Why are you avoiding the one thing that makes you feel so much better and it makes a difference to your mental health? The question came loud and clear before I got a chance to think. Because you hate running. The shock and relief I felt at saying that out loud was palpable. Now, I have said this before out loud, usually as some kind of joke or quip with friends, but I've never really admitted it to myself before. Typing this now feels so stupid and minor, but it's something I feel I should love. Most people I know love it, swear by it, and have assured me that once I get into my stride, I'll love it too. But after years of trying, all I ever feel is dread at the thought of it, then afterwards, serious muscle cramps, nausea, and lightheadedness. Admitting the truth felt like a weight off my shoulders. So I've taken the opportunity to consider my whole routine and, more importantly, why I do it in the first place. The revolutionary conclusion I've come to? I quit. Instead, a small voice inside of me suggested going for a swim. So that's what I did this weekend. 13 blissful minutes later, I was back on ground level with no nausea or muscle cramps. In the glorious sunshine, feeling a little achy but refreshed and grateful. I'm not sure if this even really counts as a Dharma glimpse, but taking the time to listen to what the divine is trying to tell me about myself has made a small but important change to my life this week.
Thank you, Helen. Definitely counts as a Dharma. Although, who am I to say? Okay, so we will now do some meditation together. And as we sit in the silence, or maybe just keep our ears open today and notice the sounds around us. And as you notice the sounds, maybe outside, inside the shrine room, or inside your own body, just let the sounds be present and then fade away without clinging onto them. And if your brain starts thinking or planning or doing anything at all, just bring it gently back to the sounds around you. If you don't want to listen, you can always just pay attention to your breath instead. And then after a little while together, we will chant the name of the Buddha of infinite light, Amitabha. So do join in the chanting when you get the hang of the tune. Namo Buddhaya. So we'll now recite the refuge's vows and precepts together. And if you're not sure about whether you'd like to sign up to these things, you can chant them in support of those of us who do. For refuge, I go to the Buddha.
For refuge, I go to the Buddha,
The one who is awake and full of love.
the one who is awake and full of love.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
For refuge, I go to the Dharma.
For refuge, I go to the Dharma,
All that guides us to wisdom and compassion.
all that guides us to wisdom and compassion.
Namo Dharmaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
For refuge, I go to the Sangha.
For refuge, I go to the Sangha,
Those who live in the Buddha's light.
those who live in the Buddha's light.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
With faith in the three jewels,
With faith in the three jewels,
and in light of our human tendencies,
and in light of our human tendencies,
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I take life.
of when I take life.
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I take what is not freely given.
of when I take what is not freely given.
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I fall into sexual misconduct.
of when I fall into sexual misconduct.
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I fall into wrong speech.
of when I fall into wrong speech.
I pray that I may become aware
I pray that I may become aware
of when I become intoxicated.
of when I become intoxicated.
No blame,
No blame,
be kind,
be kind,
love everything.
love everything.
Innumerable sentient beings,
We vow to say
inexhaustible our deluded passions.
We vow to transform and more.
Immeasurable are the Dharma teachings.
We vow to master them all.
Infinite is the Buddha's way.
We vow to fulfill it completely. So there are lots of lists in Buddhism. We just recited the 3 refuges. There are the 4 Noble Truths, the 6 Paramitas, the Eightfold Path. And the list I wanted to talk to you about this evening was the 3 poisons. So in Buddhism, the 3 poisons are something that all of us are afflicted by, something that all of us are overcome by, and they are greed, hate, and delusion. And we talk quite a lot about greed and hate, but Helen's Dharma glimpse this evening has made me think about delusion. And in particular, the kind of delusion that goes on inside us. And there are lots of reasons why we delude ourselves about ourselves. It may be that we just don't want to be that kind of person. It may be that we're worried about how other people will judge us if we admit to something. It may be that we would judge ourselves, or that we would feel shame if we admit to something. It may be that we have to change something about what we're doing in the world if we were to really see the reality of who we are. We might need to take different choices or give up on things that we've really wanted. And all of those things are really hard. The reason why we use greed, hate, and delusion is that we're trying to get out of something, we're trying to get away from something, we're trying to avoid suffering. We're trying to avoid the suffering of not having enough, or the suffering of wanting to push things away from us. And we're trying to not know certain things. And there are different ways of kind of removing the scales from our eyes, different ways of seeing reality more clearly, both inside us and outside of us. But I hope that the Buddhist teachings point us towards doing that gently. That I don't think the Buddha is interested in shoving us in any direction or in forcing us to see things before we're ready. Instead, the Buddha encourages us to start leaning in to the 3 refuges, the Buddha, the teachings, the community, and gradually begin to feel more secure, more safe, more loved. And as we relax in that way, then these insights are much more likely to be possible, because we can hold them. We're not going to be overwhelmed by them. We're not going to be scared off them. So one side effect of Buddhist practice, I hope, is that we become more realistic about our limited nature and especially about our particular limited nature. It's taken me quite a long time to be able to admit to people, I'm really rubbish with ill people. If you want someone to nurse you, it's just not going to be me, because I don't want to be that kind of person. I would love to be the kind of person that is great at physical illness and looking after other people, but I'm just not. And being able to be honest about that means that I can warn people in advance, hopefully get someone else in, and start from where I am, which is what I'm actually capable of right now, rather than what I would like to be. So maybe an encouragement to everyone this week to gently wonder about where your reality is, and how, if you are able to acknowledge a little bit more of it, it might give you different options, it might be a relief, it might free you to lean in to reality and to lean into the Buddha. Namo Meetabu. So this is the bit where we do prostrations to the Buddha. So we go all the way down to the ground, if you're able to. A warning that I've had a bad back today, so don't copy me, Jonathan, because I might not be able to get back off the floor. So look at someone else and how they're doing it. And if I'm still there at the end, maybe someone will come over and help me up. So in a minute, Fee will ring the bell. And as we prostrate, we chant Namo Meetabu, but don't worry about doing both at the same time. Just choose a spot pointing towards the main shrine, but it's carpet in front of you. In gratitude, we offer this incense offering
all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout space and time. May it be fragrant as earth herself, lifting our careful efforts, our wholehearted awareness on the fruits of understanding through life. May we, in all beings, be companions, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken and realize how we truly are.
If you'd like to come back to stand at your seats. All bow much easier than that one, which I can't do at all. So we will now bow to each other. I will bow to B first, so you two will bow and you two will bow, then the other way around. And then we bow to the Buddha. And tidy our seats and bow to our seats. And then we'll finish with the closing verse. Blessed by Amitabha's light, may we care for all living things and holy earth, and may we food. So just quick reminder about the food bank box, which is in the dining room, which I haven't remembered for a long time, but we must remember. And also thank you to everyone who's got their name on the sheet outside. If you can fill in a slot, then please do. Yes, just to fill up.